What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the OTS-9, which is the new SMG. Yesterday I went through with the community and did a full damage profile test for every single AR, every SMG, and every LMG, even if they didn't say they were changed in the patch notes. It had been a long time since we'd done this, and I just wanted to confirm that there were no hidden changes. I think we got everything done. Took about 6 hours or so. It was very tedious, but there were some surprises in there. I'll be compiling all that data. It's going to take me a little bit, though. It's probably going to take a few days. But there are some unexpected things in there. Nothing huge, but some unexpected things that we didn't know about ahead of time. So I'll get all that updated in the next few days. I'll probably make a video about it too, about the unexpected things. But today we're going to be talking about the new SMG. Obviously, it was tested during that same damage profile test. So this video is mostly going to be focused on TTKs. I don't have all the base stats for this gun yet. I just haven't had a chance to do that. But I should be able to give a pretty good idea of where it's going to fall in the SMG meta just from TTKs and from knowing it's a Cold War gun. So we'll talk about that. But as always, if you guys like the content, you like the website, I'm grinding, trying to get 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube by the time the channel's 1 year old, which is about a month from now. So if you want to drop a sub and help us out with that goal, usually about 30-40% of you aren't subscribed, and my videos get almost 100,000 views a lot of the time. So you could help me get there in a single day if everybody just subscribed. But let's jump into it, and we will talk about the OTS-9. All right, so these are the base stats for the OTS-9 for damage profile. So first damage drop off is 45, 34, 34, 30. That only goes out to 8.2 meters. And then from 8.2 to 16 meters, it is 31, 23, 23, 20. And then from 16 meters on, it's 27, 20, 20, 18. It shoots about 855 RPM, which is pretty fast. It's similar to like a Cold War MP5 in terms of fire rate. Again, like I said, I don't have all these base stats yet. That'll be something I do very soon. I just simply haven't had time to do that yet, especially with the huge community test we did yesterday. But that'll be one of the very next things on the list, is get all the base stats here. But you can see from these numbers, the first drop-off being at 8.2 meters, I think that's the shortest drop-off of any SMG. So essentially what this gun is trying to do is it's trying to be like a Cold War MP5 or Modern Warfare MP5. Basically the really fast-killing, short-range SMGs. 8.2 meters is so short, it's getting to the point like, it's almost like, why would you not just use a shotgun at that point? It's a really fast-killing gun, but it just has no damage range at all. But it also doesn't have very much recoil, so it's semi-effective out even at these longer ranges. But let's go look at the TTK charts now and compare. Basically what I did is I added the guns that kill super fast, because that's kind of what this gun's trying to do. It's a very, very fast-killing SMG. So nail gun, the Cold War MP5 was nerfed, so these are the new nerfed values for the Cold War MP5. Those are live on the site. Anything I had to update to compare to the OTS-9, I updated. So the Modern Warfare, or the Cold War MP5 is updated, the nail gun's updated, and then Modern Warfare MP5 was not changed, so the old values are still correct. We confirmed that yesterday. MP7 is the same story. So let's go look at the TTK and DPS. So 250 health, chest shots. OTS-9 wins. It's down at 491 milliseconds, which is very, very fast. Followed by the Modern Warfare MP5, and this used to be the Cold War MP5. Cold War MP5 used to be faster than the Modern Warfare MP5, but for some reason they nerfed it. So the pink line here is the Cold War MP5, which is now in third, about 30 to 40 milliseconds slower than the Modern Warfare MP5 now in that first damage range, and it's a little bit shorter for the damage drop-off. One thing they did change in this update that we found yesterday is they removed the third damage drop-off from the Cold War MP5, so out at longer ranges, if you can hit your shots, obviously the Cold War MP5 has really bad recoil. If you can hit your shots, it will kill faster than pretty much all these SMGs. The only thing that's faster is the nail gun on chest shots. But like I said, the recoil is terrible in the Cold War MP5, so that kind of balances out the fact that they took out that third damage drop off. And then the nail gun and the MP7 are both right there with the Cold War MP5. The nail gun's caught a pretty bad nerf in terms of damage. Damage range on the nail gun's still good, out to 17 meters. So, I mean, you get a little bit of benefit there of having more range, but it's really not worth using over the other guns anymore, I don't think, just because you get such a small magazine and it doesn't kill ridiculously fast anymore like it used to. So I don't really think the nail gun's worth using anymore. Just use a shotgun or Modern Warfare MP5 or the OTS9. One of those three probably. Let's look at stomach shots. Stomach's the same on SMGs. Let's look at extremities. Extremities, OTS9 wins again, followed by the nail gun, followed by the Modern Warfare MP5, followed by the Cold War MP5, followed by the MP7. So like I said, the whole theme of this video, the OTS9 is essentially kind of filling the slot of a really aggressive SMG with a shorter damage range and fantastic TTKs in that first damage range. You can see out at longer ranges, it's not good at all. So it's not going to be great for like sniper support or anything like that. But the OTS9, yeah, so like on chest shots, it's actually the slowest TTK out at range. So it's really just a very, very aggressive SMG, and I'm sure, I haven't tested the mobility, but it's a Cold War gun. I'm sure the mobility is fantastic. That'll be one of the things I do very, very soon. But overall, I think let's compare the damage per mag, because it only has a 40 round magazine. So let's go compare the damage per mag. All right, so just a quick look at the comparison of the damage per mag for these SMGs. OTS9 only has a 40 round mag, so it's pretty small, but it does hit pretty hard. Nail gun, obviously 20 round mag. MP5 from Modern Warfare is 45. Cold War MP5 is 50, and then the MP7 is 60. So I've conditional formatted green is good, red is bad for each column here. So headshot damage, MP7 has the best damage per mag. Modern Warfare, Cold War, MP5 are basically identical in the middle, and then OTS9 is about 400 damage less than the Modern Warfare MP5. And then the nail gun has really, really low damage per mag now, down at 1320. This is one of the reasons why you just can't really use the nail gun anymore. It used to be that it did so much damage that it kind of made up for the small magazine, but now they've nerfed the damage pretty significantly. So I don't think that the nail gun's really a good pick anymore. Unfortunately, it was fun for a while there. It had pros and cons, but the insane TTK made it pretty fun to use if you learned how to get around the magazine. But now it's just like there's not a whole lot of reason to use it. Chest damage, basically Modern Warfare, Cold War MP5, and MP7 are all pretty much tied at around 1500 damage per mag for chest. Again, OTS is a little lower, down at 1360. This is for the first damage drop off, by the way, because this is where you're trying to use these guns most of the time, is in their first damage drop off. Then nail gun's really low at 920. Stomach's exactly the same as chest. Extremities, the MP5s actually win on extremities at 1350, followed by 1200 MP7, 1200 OTS9, and 920 for the nail gun. So, how do I think the OTS9 is going to fit into the meta? It's basically a faster killing Modern Warfare MP5, probably with better mobility, but a smaller mag. So it'll be really good for like duos and maybe trios if you can learn how to deal with that smaller mag, and if you're a really, really aggressive player. I think it is a good gun. I do think it's going to be semi-meta just because of those TTKs. I've talked about this a million times, but SMG's TTK is almost king over everything, and that's why even with the Cold War MP5 having that horrible recoil before, it basically became a meta weapon just because it killed so fast, and you were so close to your enemies when you're using it that having bad recoil isn't that big of a deal. So the OTS9 has better recoil than that, and it has better TTKs. It's held back by the mag size though, so it does have some negatives, but I do think it's going to be a meta SMG. Something else to consider is there are still ARs that are going to be competitive with this, so I'm going to go add the AS VAL to the TTK chart and the damage per mag chart, and we'll compare that real quick to the OTS9. Alright, so I've added the AS VAL on here. Obviously the AS VAL is going to kill faster than everything. It always has. Down at 400 milliseconds to kill on the chest shots, which is just insane. Significantly faster, almost 100 milliseconds faster than the OTS9. And it only has a 30 round mag. We'll go look at damage per mag in a second here, but let's look at stomach. So on stomach, the SMGs actually are going to take over again. It's just barely. It's about, let's see, about 50 milliseconds faster, actually. So that's pretty significant. The OTS9 kills 50 milliseconds faster than the AS VAL. But the AS VAL has such a long damage range because it's an AR. All the way up to 32 meters. It's just crazy. It's a great gun, and nobody uses it. I don't really know why. And then on extremities, the AS VAL takes over again. So if you hit your chest shots, on average, the AS VAL is going to be much, much faster to kill than even any of the SMGs, and it has a crazy long damage range. So it's still a great, great choice. But let's go look at the damage per mag of the AS VAL. All right, so I added in the AS VAL to the damage per mag comparison chart here. So 30 round mag. It does 1410 to the head, so 400 less than the OTS 9. 1110 to the chest, which is 200 less than the OTS 9. And then stomach's 400 less, and extremities is 300 less. So it's really a good comparison to the nail gun. It's like, why would you, at this point, why would you ever pick the nail gun over the AS VAL? The damage per mag of the nail gun, the AS VAL is going to be higher on average for sure, mostly because of this chest one, the chest and the headshot. Stomach and extremities are a little lower, but basically, there's no reason to use the nail gun anymore over the AS VAL except mobility reasons. So basically, if you want to play trios and quads, I'm still going to recommend the Modern Warfare MP5, I think, unless you like a gun with really clean irons and really good mid to longer range performance. Then the MP7 is probably a little better for you. It's going to kill slower than the Modern Warfare MP5, but it's going to be a little more stable and have better irons, so it's going to be better at range. But trios and quads, I really think you need to use Modern Warfare MP5 or MP7 unless you really, really learn how to use a smaller magazine and smaller damage per mag and use cover to reload and things like that. Then the OTS 9 would be a decent option for trios and quads, just because it has awesome TTKs. And then if you want to go absolute extreme route and really have a small magazine, AS VAL is the one to use over the nail gun now. So I don't know, for solos and duos, I think AS VAL and OTS 9 are probably the best choice, just because you don't need that huge damage per mag in duos and solos. So if that's what you're playing, I think those two options would be great. But yeah, that's pretty much where I think all of this sits. Like I said, we've got all the damage profiles updated. Not on the site yet, but I have all of the damage profiles from the community test yesterday. So I'll get all that on the site soon, and I'll be able to make some really good meta videos in the next few days after we get all that up, just because we'll have a clear picture of where everything sits. There's some guns that got such big buffs, like the QBZ, that I don't even a lot of the changes I can kind of comprehend how it would affect the meta, because they're not very big changes and I knew how the gun felt before. But something like the QBZ being buffed and all of these nerfs across the board, I don't know where that's going to fit in, so I couldn't really comment on that in yesterday's video. But after I get everything up, I should be able to make some pretty good meta videos. So I will get that out there pretty soon. But as always, guys, if you like the video, consider dropping that sub. Like I said, we're trying to hit 200,000. I think that would be awesome. I appreciate all of you as always, and I will see you in the next video.